Yes. I believe the last time we proceeded with the matter, Mr. Samherji was asking questions, was cross-examining you.
That's correct.
Yes. I will allow him to continue. Mr. Samherji?
No, please, Your Lordship. Just as we did it before, I'll continue asking you questions in cross-examination. I just urge you to answer my question directly. You can opt not to answer my question. If the question is not clear, you can ask me to clarify. I'll gladly do so. Okay, now, so I hope you have the applicant's bundle. Yes, okay. Now, you were asked, I just want to refer you to 38, document 38 in the applicant's bundle. It's actually marked as B42-1 and B42-2, those two documents. B42-1. I don't know whether yours are marked as such, but it's written 38. 38, yes, that's B42-1. And then 39 is B42-2.
Yes.
Now, this is, I'm sure you agree with me that this is a supply agreement. In fact, maybe let's refer to 39. It's the same agreement, but 38 is the unsigned version, 39 is the signed version. So maybe let's concentrate on the signed version, which is 39, B42. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I'm
okay. In the previous bail applications, did you come across this document? The supply agreement, the signed supply agreement between Roba Logistics and Memorial Seafood Namibia. I put it to you, sir, that you never came across it because this document was never produced in any of the bail applications.
There's a possibility, yes.
I put it to you, sir, that it's not a possibility, it is the truth. This is, before we disclose it, you can check through all the previous bail applications. This document was never produced. So this is actually, in these bail proceedings, it's the first time that you're coming across this document. And you cannot dispute that. Yes. Now the reason I'm emphasizing on that, because an impression was created through my learned colleague, Mr. Ipinge, when in evidence in chief, that this is not new. You know, this was there and you glossed over it, you said, yes, it's not new information. But how can it be said that it's not new information when the document that we're talking about was never produced before? You never had sight of it. You were never given an opportunity to comment on its contents. Do you have a comment on that?
I've never commented on it.
No, but you see, I'm saying that for the record, because when my learned colleague for the state, Mr. Ipingi, was reading an evidence in chief, one of the documents that he was making reference to is this one, pertaining to the agreement, this supply agreement pertaining to Roba Logistics and Memaria Seafood. And your comment was that it's not new. That's what you said, and that's why I'm emphasizing on that for the record. You, before these bail proceedings, you had never had sight of this agreement. So it is new. Okay, now that we've established that, let's get into this document. If you look at this document, as is indicated, it's a supply agreement between Roba Logistics and Memaria Seafood. I'm sure you had an opportunity to go through it. Is that so?
Yes, I go through it.
Okay. And I'm sure you further agree with me that, as per what the document indicates, Roba Logistics Limited, as the buyer, wanted to buy fish from Memaria Seafood, Namibia.
Yes, that is what the agreement says.
Yes. And I'm sure if you go to B42.1, document 38, you see that there is an email from the applicant to Johannes Stephenson pertaining to the sales agreement, the same supply agreement. B42.1 or document 38, you agree with me?
Yes.
Yes. And in fact, this email is coming from the additional disclosure from the state. All these documents that have the caption confidential information are coming from the additional disclosure. But the point I'm making is, you can see from the email that there is correspondence between the applicant and Johannes Stephenson concerning the sales agreement. And if you turn to the next page, you will see that Johannes Stephenson is also acknowledging that he received this document, and he is saying, he's actually telling the applicant that he must go over it, over the document attached, that is the agreement, and come back to him. And Johannes Stephenson was acting as on behalf of Arctic Nam Fishing. You agree with me, sir? Document 38, I'm referring to document 38, sir, B42.1. There's the first page and then the second page. I'm talking about the emails, not the supply agreement.
Yes, I'm checking on the email. But what it differs from the document that you are just referring to, supply agreement and the email. The email is talking about sales agreement. And in that email, Johannes Stephenson representing Arctic Nam Fishing.
Yes, we'll get to that, but I'm saying so far you see that you agree that there is communication between the applicant and Johannes Stephenson.
Yes, I can see the correspondence. It's only that I don't know whether they are talking of the same agreement, because the document, there's email saying sales agreement, and the document referred to says supply agreement.
Yeah.
And this one is between Roba Logistics and Memaria Seafood, and here Johannes is writing on behalf of Arctic Nam Fishing.
We'll get to that, but I'm saying you can see that, and in fact, if you look at, after the first 2 pages, there's an attached supply agreement. Again, it says confidential information. These go together, the emails as well as the supply agreement. And I must emphasize again, these documents on 38 were obtained from the additional disclosure by the state. These were not produced by the applicant. So in case you have this impression that it's the applicant that just attached that, the documents go together. The whole 38.
Go together, yes.
Yes. So all I'm saying is, whether you say supply or sales, these documents, the 2 emails and the document go together. It's from the state's disclosure. And what the applicant produced was the same agreement, that's 39, the same agreement that is in B42.1 or 38, but the signed version of it. It's exactly, if you look at it, if you want to take your time, look at the supply agreement in 38, the unsigned version, and look at the supply agreement in 39, the signed version. You see everything is exactly the same. The difference is that 39 is the signed version.
That's correct.
Yes. So now, I'm sure you agree with me that 39, if we look at 39, you saw it for the first time, the signed version. You saw it for the first time when it was produced during these bail proceedings. You could have seen 38 before the unsigned version because it was part of the additional disclosure by the state. You could have seen it. But I'm talking about particularly 39. You saw it for the first time when it was produced during these bail proceedings.
Yes, you're correct.
Yes. Now, I'm emphasizing that because remember, the applicant testified that he has been working as a businessman all along. And in the previous bail applications, when the issue of supplying fish, or rather getting other customers to engage with Samherji group of companies, for Samherji group of companies to supply fish to those other clients or customers, the applicant testified that he linked other entities with Samherji. You remember that?
Yes, I remember.
Yes. And I put it to you that this is proof that indeed one of the entities that the applicant linked with Samherji group of companies is this Robber Logistics, as per the signed supply agreement that he produced.
Even if there was a supply agreement, the applicant did never provide anything to this court to indicate that there was indeed fish supplied by Memoria Seafood.
Mr. Kanyangela, remember, you see, the problem that I have with you, is that before, in the previous bail applications, you said there is nothing that has been produced to show that applicant ever engaged in bringing other clients to Samherji group of companies. And therefore, there is nothing further that shows that he should have been paid. I think that was the narrative that you portrayed.
No. Away from the record is that always you're only getting that
Okay. Are you saying that's not the case?
But the issue of Robber Logistics was dealt with even emails in the previous bail application. So
Yes.
the record.
Well, if you say that it's not on the record, what he's saying is not on the record, then he can then refer us to the part of the record.
Yes.
Is that what you are saying?
Yes.
Okay.
The narrative is drawn is different from
All right.
what was testified to in cross-examined about Robber Logistics.
Mr. Siomundi, would you
Well,
like?
I'll rephrase. In a sense, what we are saying is, Mr. Kanyangela saying that there is no proof that indeed there was fish supplied to Robber Logistics, which would entitle applicant to be paid. I'm just rephrasing in a nutshell. That's what you're saying. There's no proof to that effect. Even when emails about Robber Logistics were introduced in the previous bail applications. Now, we are saying, Your Lordship, now, there is this supply agreement. What was produced in the additional disclosure was an unsigned version from the state. We produced the exact document, the signed version.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying, Your Lordship. So now, Mr. Kanyangela, you being the investigation officer in this case, did you ever contact Robber Logistics to find out if indeed fish was never supplied to them by Memoria Seafood?
We have requested the information through the Ministry of Justice to confirm whether there was indeed fish supplied to this company, but so far we did not get any response.
Therefore, I put it to you that you cannot say there is no proof that fish was ever supplied. You are not in a position to dispute that.
I will dispute that because even the applicant himself, he cannot provide such either invoices or delivery notes or whatever to indicate that yes, since he was now a consultant of Samherji, they did indeed deliver some fish to Robal Logistics.
Mr. Kanyangela, that's where you get it wrong. Remember, if we look at the consultancy service agreement that the applicant had with Samherji, is to link them to the JV right holders as well as getting other clients for them. You agree with me? We canvass that.
Yes, even
so, if that is the case, how would the applicant who has just introduced clients to Samherji, how would he have invoices? A person who is like an agent. An agent links two parties. How would an agent have the nitty-gritties, the actual invoices? Because the purpose of the agent is just to link the parties. When they do business together, the two parties are the ones who would have invoices of selling and buying from each other. The role of the applicant was the introduction to them. As per what you've seen, there was even the email communication between himself and Johannes Stephenson.
Yeah, but that is what he claimed to be a consultative of Samherji. He could still have access to the invoices.
Sir, a consultant, just like I said, I'm sure you know what an agent is, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, is a person who links. You link the parties together. Once you link the parties together, the parties themselves, the buyer and the seller, engage further in the transaction. So why would the agent, whose role was just limited to linking of the buyer and the seller, why would the agent have invoices? If you can explain that before we go on, since you said you understand what an agent is.
I will still insist that he can still have some documentations.
I put it to you, sir.
Although he was just a consultant, he must have reference documentation on which he had to refer also, since he was a consultant for those companies, for that Samherji group of companies.
And sir, I put it to you that the proof of that, you are saying that since he was a consultant, the agent, is the same agreement which has been signed. In other words, he did his job. He introduced Robal Logistics to Samherji group of companies, and that culminated into this signed supply agreement. So applicant did his job perfectly. That is the proof, and that's what I'll argue before this court, that what you said before was not correct. Even in the face of you being provided this, you are still saying there's no proof. It is there, it's crystal clear, it's in black and white. You've seen this agreement, which you never saw before.
There's a proof of the agreement, but
yes,
there's no proof that, yes, there was a supply.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
And you do not have, you cannot say there was never any supply, because you have failed to provide evidence to the contrary. As you stand there, you cannot say there was no supply that culminated from the supply agreement that was signed between Robal Logistics and Memaria Seafood.
There was no supply from Memaria.
You see?
If there was supply, it was from Altigna Fishing, not from Memaria.
We'll get to that. In fact, let's get into it. I'm sure you agree with me that Samherji was the mother company. It operated, it was like a holding company. It had subsidiaries.
That's
You
correct.
agree with me, isn't it?
That's correct.
Memaria and all the others subsidiaries were under Samherji group of companies, isn't it?
That's correct.
What was the composition of Acticnam? Who are the shareholders of Acticnam? In other words,
Yeah, it was Samherji and the 3 JVs.
okay, what was the percentage of Samherji? If you know.
I cannot recall it, the percentage.
You see, you do not know. So, you see, you are the one who is talking about Acticnam. That why is this this person signed on behalf of Acticnam, but now you do not even know the percentage of Samherji. But you are the investigation officer. But I'll assist you. As an officer of the court, I'll assist you. If you can refer to document 51. B54, but
Yes.
document 51, the next page. Remember the first page is letter to minister,
Yes.
then the next, the document, the next one is the letter to the minister.
Yes, I'm there.
And it's, I'm sure if you look at the bottom there, in fact, it's on the letterhead of Acticnam Fishing. You agree with me?
That's correct.
Yes. And in the letter, my lord, if it's just a one-page thing, maybe for the record, you just read it. I mean, that's the direction. It says, Dear Honorable Bernard Isau, in 2013, the fishing rights holders, Epango Fishing, Cinco Fishing, and Yuko Fishing, along with an Icelandic multinational fishing company, Samherji, established Acticnam Fishing Pty Limited. The purpose of Acticnam was and is to exploit horse mackerel quotas that the right holders are located. The shareholders of Acticnam together have finalized a multi-million-dollar investment in the fishing trawler, Heinaste, which has been operated successfully in Namibia since 2012. A total of 41.6% of the shareholding in the vessel, which will fly a Namibian flag, is owned by a Namibian citizen, and the remaining shares is held by a Namibian company owned by Samherji Group. As of today, the Namibian shareholders, Yuko, Cinco, and Epango, joint effective ownership in the vessel Heinaste is 25%, valued approximately 93.5 million Namibian dollars. This will rise to 41.6% when the vessel will be fully paid off by the end of next year. The investment in Heinaste was agreed a few years ago. However, due to uncertainties surrounding the flagging of the vessel caused by majority foreign ownership of the vessel and other external factors, the process of transferring the ownership and reflagging the vessel into Namibia has been delayed. Acticnam and its shareholders are unified in finding a solution as quickly as possible and have been working tirelessly for the past year in an effort to do so. It is our opinion that such a solution has been found and the flagging and investment in the vessel can be completed within 3 months as at the most. We humbly request the Honorable Minister show understanding of the situation and patience for the finalization of the process. Mid last year, we had some turmoil in shareholders group of Acticnam Fishing, but that has been fully resolved now. We hope to provide the Honorable Minister with adequate explanation and remain at the Honorable Minister's disposal should any further explanation be required. Yours faithfully, signed by T.B. Kandanga for Epango Fishing, Virgilio J. De Souza for Cinco Fishing, Edil Hegil Anason for SJAF Investments, Pty Limited, Henok Nagatana for Yuko Fishing. Now, having read that, you can see that as at the time that this letter was written, 3rd May 2017, the shareholding of the Namibian JV right holders was 25%. You agree with me as per the letter?
Yeah, how I understand the letter, these percentages are for the acquiring of the vessel and not for the company. That is how I understand the letter.
So, what was the percentage of each JV right holder?
In
Or
the
the
vessel-
JV right holders collectively
In the
in
vessel,
this Actignum?
in the acquiring of the vessel.
No, Actignum, what was the shareholding?
As I said, this letter is based on the acquiring of the vessel, Hinasti.
Yes, but I'm asking you as the investigation officer, what was the percentage of Samherji in Actignum? We're talking about Actignum.
I cannot recall. But this one is based on the
Yes, but you agree
acquiring
that
of the vessel.
Samherji had majority shareholding in Actignum? Or can you dispute that?
Yes.
But is my learned colleague putting it as a fact? Because I find it misleading if you put it as a fact. You must double check those facts. Or is he asking
Is
the
it to
question?
say he's not aware?
Yes, but he's now putting that Samherji was the majority shareholder, which I find to be misleading, if he's putting that as a fact.
Well, I'm not aware. I thought he knows.
That is precisely.
Just bear with me for a minute. Can you set the comment 22?
Maybe to get the fact out of the way, sharing the whole statement before God. The percentage is there. Samherji 49, 51 is the 3 JVs.
I see. Okay.
So he was not, Samherji was not the majority shareholder.
Okay. That's fine. Thank you for
The question, the investigation officer is here. But my learned colleague is now jumping. That is a question posed to him if he knows. And he's right here. So he'll be able to say, okay, according to what I know is this and that. That's why he's right there. But my learned colleague again is jumping the gun now. He's doing the examination at the point of cross-examination.
Well, maybe it was to just have the issue resolved quickly, but I think it was helpful. You
Well,
may,
please,
you may proceed.
Now, okay, let's take it as indicated. Samherji had 49%. So, in this Actignum fishing. Now, you are saying, because when you refer to B42, to the signed agreement, I think in evidence in chief, when my learned colleague was reading evidence from you, you questioned, you said, this agreement with Robber Logistics, why is it that the applicant was not paid by Actignum? If fish was supplied to Actignum. You said something to that effect.
Yes, I said that.
Yes. But is it wrong now because you can see Actignum, Samherji was a 49% shareholder. And you can see, if you look at the same agreement, even the person who signed on behalf of Samherji, the court can just bear with him a little.
Yes. It's okay.
You see it's Memaria Seafood, isn't it?
Yes?
Yes. And again, it's all, whether it's Memaria and the other subsidiaries, they are all subsidiaries of Samherji, isn't it?
That's correct?
Yes. So is it wrong now that, because you are saying the email that was there was Johannes Stephenson, if you look at document 38, and he indicated that he's acting on behalf of Actignum Fishing. If you look at document 38, the second email, you questioned this, you said, if indeed there was fish supplied, why wasn't payment done through Actignum? There was no fish supplied. That is what you indicated. And if there was fish supplied, payment should have been through Arctic now. You recall that's what you said?
Yes, I can recall.
Yes, but I'm putting it to you so that you can see even the fact that Samherji had 49% shares in Arctic now. The agreement itself, B42.2, was not even signed by, was signed by another entity of Samherji.
Mr. Samherji, assist me here. Was the evidence not that money was paid to an entity that did not enter into an agreement with Robber Logistics?
Your Lordship, as far as I remember it, so during evidence in chief, through my learned colleague,
He can still verify it.
Yes.
I thought his evidence was to say, well, Robber Logistics entered into an agreement with which entity?
Mario Seafood.
Yes. And then the invoices or payment was through, I think maybe Arctic Nam. So that was the evidence. So why is it not paid to Memoria Seafoods? That's how I had understood. So I hear you now as if you are saying it matters not to which entity is paid because they are all subsidiaries of Samherji. Is that your approach to the evidence?
No, Your Lordship. From what I recall, the witness before court said there was no proof that fish was ever supplied.
Okay.
And if indeed fish was supplied, payment was supposed to be done through Arctic now.
I see.
Yes, that's how I remember it.
No, you may proceed.
My legal colleague cannot proceed with the understanding that Arctic Name was a subsidiary of Samherji. Arctic Name was never a subsidiary of Samherji.
Okay.
It has always remained that a subsidiary of Samherji held some shares, not a subsidiary.
Okay. I think he might agree.
My Lord, my learned colleague, if that is his understanding, he completely misunderstood what I said. I never said Arctic Nam was a subsidiary.
Probably it's the court that might have.
My Lord, if we look at the supply agreement, 39, there's Memoria Seafood.
Okay.
Those are the ones that I was indicating that there are various entities that are subsidiaries of, Samherji. I didn't say Arctic Nam was a subsidiary of Samherji. Samherji, as we've established, held shares, 49% shares in Arctic Nam.
That's fine. Thank you, Mr. Silvi.
So, sir, what was, since Samherji had 49% shares in Arctic Nam, what was strange, if there was anything strange, by the person who signed the agreement on behalf of Memoria Seafood being Johannes Stephenson, and Johannes Stephenson writing an email representing Arctic Nam? Was there anything strange with that?
Yeah, what was strange is the payment that, as to how the payment was done to the applicant. These payments were done through various entities. If he was really doing genuine business, the payment could be done directly to him, instead of being paid to entities where his other co-accused are having interest.
You are not answering the question, sir. We'll get to the issue of payment. I'm asking you now. Remember when we started, I said, answer my questions directly. We'll get to the issue of the payments. We'll get there. It's a systematic process. But I'm talking about here now, is there anything strange? Because if one entity or one subsidiary of Samherji Group decides to pay, is there anything strange?
Well, can he maybe just deal with the question you had asked? If there was anything wrong with Mr. Stephenson signing on behalf of Arctic NAM, as I understood the question, is there anything strange with that?
I mean, doesn't matter.
There was no anything strange since he was managing the entities of Samherji.
Exactly, and Samherji had 49% shares in Acting NAM.
That's correct?
Yes, but I'm emphasizing this because the narrative that you wanted to portray before this court was that, you know, it's Arctic NAM that payment should have come through Arctic NAM. The fact that it didn't come through Arctic NAM, although this agreement, if you look at the emails in document 38, Johannes Stephenson was acting on behalf of Arctic NAM. Payment should have come through Arctic NAM. That is the impression you wanted to create before this court.
Yeah, because Arctic NAM Fishing is a Namibian company. And if the applicant have to invoice Samherji, you have to do it directly to Arctic NAM. Not like he did, he invoiced Mirmaria Seafood, Olkatla Seafood, and as per the explanation of the financial manager, Adele Pay, she have indicated that when invoices used to be issued, it used to be sent directly to Iceland for payment. As I said, there is something wrong, because if the applicant was really doing, if he was doing work for Arctic NAM Fishing, when of Samherji having 49%, he could directly invoice his invoices to Arctic NAM and not send it to Iceland for payment.
But didn't you ask that question to your star witness, Johannes Stephenson? Because the email on document 38, he's the one who was communicating with the applicant, and it's indicated he's acting on behalf of Arctic NAM. Why did you ask that question to Johannes Stephenson? So that you'd be able to tell this court that, according to Johannes Stephenson, I asked that point, but he said A, B, C, D.
I did not question him.
Yes, because you've never even met him.
But what he indicated is that those invoices that were being issued, those were dummy invoices.
We'll get there, sir. That's why I told
Yes.
you that we see this is cross-examination. I'm well prepared. We'll get there.
Yes.
We'll get there. Just like we started, we'll get there. But we're dealing with this point now.
Witness is questioned. Whatever answer comes, that is the answer the witness is giving. To say we'll get there doesn't help us, because that is the answer to the question. Yes.
Your Lordship, with due respect, my learned colleague will not dictate how I do my cross-examination. That remark was not a sarcastic remark or an uncalled for remark. I'm saying the issue of payments, we'll get there, because this is my cross-examination.
All right.
Now, since you talked about Adele Pay, sir, did Adele Pay tell you that the way invoices were paid was wrong? Or the entities to which the invoices were introduced or were presented to was wrong?
She never says so.
Exactly. So that is your own making, to say that because invoices were not sent to Arctic NAM, or they were supposed to be sent to this particular entity, you know, it is wrong. That is your own thinking. The accountant of Samherji did not say it was wrong.
She cannot say that they were wrong because they were not presented to her. Those invoices, they are coming back to her after they were already paid. So even if she saw there was something wrong, there's nothing she can question.
Is that what she told you?
And she was not running the operation of the company.
Sir, is that what Ms. Adele Pay told you, or that is your own understanding or your own thinking?
It's my own thinking.
Yes.
Yes.
And I put it to you, your thinking is flawed because you are not an accountant.
I'm not an accountant.
Yes.
But she was just having no time to see that this one is wrong because all those things were just sent directly to Iceland for payment.
Did she tell you, or did she write there in maybe an affidavit or anywhere and say that she had no time to check the things properly? Did she do that?
She did not say so.
Exactly. So again, I put it to you that that is your own line of thinking. You want to mislead this court by saying she had no time.
I'm not misleading.
If she did not say that, then it cannot come from you. You are not an accountant.
But I'm not misleading the court.
I put it to you and I'll argue as such.
According to her, the documents were sent, the invoices were sent straight to Iceland. Then the payment is done there. Then it will be now sent to her to capture the information on the system. So the payment will not go through her office.
Sir, from what you've just explained, if the invoices come back to her, if there's something untoward or something wrong, as a chartered accountant, surely she will pick it up.
But she is not in charge of the company.
Is that what she told you? That I, Adelpe, I'm not in charge of the company, although the invoices were sent to me, I'm not able to see that there's anything wrong. Is that what she told you?
What she indicated is that she was not running the operation of the company.
That's all she said. So the rest of the things, it's what you are adding in a bid to mislead this court.
I'm not misleading.
Yes, because you want this court to believe a certain narrative of yours. So we've just established that you are in the habit of sensationalizing things. You put a blanket approach to things, say, this is the case, invoices were not paid properly, or they were sent to the wrong place, or Adelpe didn't have time to do ABCD. That is all your own thinking, which you want to parade as, you know, the position of Samherji group of companies, or the people who are doing the payments, or Adelpe by extension. That is actually your own thinking.
That is how we want to take it, but
That's how it is, sir.
it's not like that.
It's not how I want to take it, because if you are speaking on behalf of somebody,
I think you have made a point.
may please the court.
I don't know if there's something you still want to add to what Mr. Siomunji is putting to you. Is there something you still want to add, or you can move on?
We can move on.
You may proceed,
May
Mr.
please the
Siomunji.
court. Now let me refer you to B40. Document 40, B43.
B43.
Applicant's bundle.
Yes.
Yes, I'm there.
Yes, so again, if you see, this is again the same transactions of Robber Logistics. I'm sure you see that document 40 is an email from Ivy Arnott from Robber Logistics to Jackie Tiat, who was acting on behalf of Acticnam. And I'm sure you went through this email, isn't it?
Yes, I read
It's a
through it.
discussion of that the invoice must be in South African rand and so on. You agree with me?
Yes, I agree.
If you turn the further pages, there's a further discussion. If you look at page 4 of 6, where it's indicated the prices, HM, horse mackerel 16 plus, 12,698 rands per metric ton, horse mackerel 18 plus, 13,842 per metric ton, and so on. You see there are those discussions.
Yes, I can see that.
Yes. I put it to you that this further confirms that aside from the supply agreement which was signed, this is proof that the parties engaged further by even discussing prices.
Yes,
the
they
fish.
engage further.
Yes. And you do not have any evidence as you stand there to say that these transactions didn't go further to the extent of the supply of fish to Rogal Logistics.
My learned colleague continuously refers to transactions. This email does not talk of any transaction. And this is clearly from Atiknem, and nothing from Memaria or Samherji. So to refer to say this is proof of a transaction, that will be misleading. Because there's discussion about pricing, but there is no to say this is the transaction.
What?
This is how much fish is being bought.
Okay.
This is the amount that is being paid.
I hear what you are saying, Mr. Ipinge. Let's try the following first.
Yes.
I don't know if Mr. Kanyangela is following the questions
Yes.
properly as they are asked. Because on the last question, I recall Mr. Siomunji putting to him that document 40, which is exhibit B43,
Yes.
shows that the parties engaged further.
Yes.
Well, I don't know whether they are on the same understanding, but Mr. Kanyangela is confirming,
Yes.
which means between the two of them, there's no issue. He's confirming what Mr. Siomunji is putting to him.
Yes.
I don't know if, unless maybe you feel the question is not very clear as to what is he referring to when he says they engaged further. Maybe he should clarify so that we know what is engaging further.
The engagement.
But if it's for Mr. Kanyangela to, if he does not understand what he means by saying they engaged further, then he should say, well, what do you mean? Then Mr. Siomunji can elaborate. Because I'm just trying to avoid the situation unless you raise an objection. Yes. Maybe you might see something more to the questions than Mr. Kanyangela is saying.
As a copy,
Yes.
please,
Yes.
as I stand guided, my lord.
Yes.
It's just the terminologies that are being used are very specific. The engagement, yes, that we have surpassed.
Okay.
But the issue that there was a transaction, that for me is misleading because these emails are not proof of a transaction.
Yes.
Yes, so when it's being put to the witness in such a manner, I find it to be misleading to the witness, and
Okay.
hence I then arise to object that this is not a transaction, firstly. Secondly, this is not from Memaria, it's from Atiknem, and that has always been the issue.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ipinge.
As a copy.
Mr. Siomunji.
My lord, if I may just point out, I find the conduct of my learned colleague disturbing. As the court rightly pointed out, Mr. Kanyangela is here. We have the understanding. If there's anything to clarify, he will say he doesn't understand. But my learned colleague, as I indicated earlier, is attempting to re-examine while I'm cross-examining. And that is disturbing because any small thing, I ask question, he keeps jumping up. It's his right to do so, but it should be his right when it's opportune for him to do so.
Okay. So far, I haven't felt that he was unreasonable in whatever he has pointed out to the court. To the extent he feels that there is a misstatement, either you might be overlooking something that Mr. Kanyangela is also overlooking. He can be assisting all of us to, as you would do if he perceives the facts in an incorrect manner. But at this stage, I'll allow you to continue with your cross-examination. But I just wanted to hear clearly, when you said that the parties engaged further, is it in their negotiations, or what do you mean when you indicate that the parties engaged further? That which Mr. Kanyangela confirmed, I don't understand.
May it please the court. My
Yes.
lord, I see my learned colleague, Mr. Marondeze, is itching for a break. I think it's not unreasonable.
Oh.
I mean, the court signs.
Oh, okay. Would you like to come and proceed after the break?
Indeed,
Or
so,
we-
Your Lordship. This my learned colleague has indicated he needs a break.
All right, that's fine. Can we do a 15? I'm starting to be concerned because Mr. Siomunji is saying we'll get there, so it sounds like we still have a long day to go, and I'm hoping that we finish cross-examination today. So can we do a 15-minute break? Will that be sufficient?
15 is sufficient for us, my lord, with regard
Yes.
to the way the proceedings will go. If
Yes.
I'm not disturbed, my lord,
Yes,
unnecessarily, I should
No,
be able to finish. what
Your
I'm
colleague
doing.
took note, and he'll only stand up when it's necessary.
May I please the court?
Please just have me called. I don't have my watch with me. Let's take a 15 minutes. Thank you. All right. force. Yeah.
All right. Stasio Munji, you may proceed. Thank you.
Mr. Kanyangela, remember there was an issue of, we said Johannes Stephenson, with regard to the previous documents we dealt with, 38 and 39, signed on behalf of Arcticnam.
Yes.
Yes. I just want to refer you to document 75, B73, in the applicant's bundle. It's the report on fishing in Angola. But you see on the first page, page 1 of 1, that this report, according to this email, it's signed by Johannes Stephenson again acting on behalf of Arctic Nam Fishing. 75. Document 75. Are you there, sir? B73, yes, Your Lordship. Are you there, Mr. Kanyagera?
Yes, I'm there.
Yes. I'm saying, do you see that we're talking about now a report? This email was for 27 May 2015, pertaining to a report on an Angolan visit of 27 May 2015.
Yes.
The point I'm making there is that this report was compiled by Johannes Stephenson, and again he's saying is, according to the email on B73, he's acting on behalf of Arctic Nam Fishing.
That's correct.
And we already saw the composition of Arctic Nam Fishing, the 3 JVs and Samherji.
Yes.
So did you question why this report was done by Johannes Stephenson in his capacity acting on behalf of Arctic Nam?
No, I do not question it.
Hmm?
So you say
Arctic Nam is made of the 3 JVs
Indeed, so, Your Lordship.
and Samherji.
Samherji, yes, Your Lordship.
Okay.
But you are the one who was questioning the thing of transactions pertaining to Arctic Nam, that invoices should have been presented to Arctic Nam and payment should have been done by Arctic Nam. You were saying that. So now, when talking about this report, you never questioned why it was done by Johannes Stephenson acting on behalf of Arctic Nam.
I never question it.
Because it was not convenient for you to question it, isn't it?
I have no doubt of him signing because he was representing Samherji in Namibia. So
Yes, but
Yes.
but the email you can see, and again, this document, this email on B73, 1 of 1. This is from the additional disclosure from the state. It's coming from you people. But what all I'm pointing out is you're questioning about Arctic Nam, but this email for the report of the Angolan visit is signed by Johannes Stephenson again, acting on behalf of Arctic Nam. But that you didn't find strange. So you only question things that you choose to question.
it's not a matter of.
That's what it is. Okay, no, let's move on. So I was talking about transactions. When I use the term transactions, I mean engagement, further engagement beyond the supply agreement. That if you look at document 40 and 41.
Or that seems to have been an issue that arose where he might have been understood to question the role that Mr. Stephenson would have played in respect of Arctic Nam, but now you are pointing out document 75 to him and suggesting that he does not see this as being problematic. Where do you stand in respect of Mr. Stephenson acting on behalf of Arctic Nam? Do you have a problem with that? Is it something strange, or it seems from the documents it's what used to happen? I just want to hear where you stand there.
Yeah, why I'm saying that it is not strange for Johannes Stephenson to sign on behalf of Arctic Nam on this document number 73 about the report. Because if you look to the report or to the email that he wrote,
Sorry to interrupt.
he wrote it to
Okay.
the email that he wrote.
Yes.
He was presenting this report, or he was reporting to Arna Brandis
Okay.
McClue,
Yes.
whom I believe to be one of the people of Samherji.
Okay.
Because he was just reporting, he was actually reporting to his bosses.
In what capacity? Not representing Acticnam, because that's how I understand Mr. Siomunji to say it's not only one document, because you seem to have questioned the other documents, but now he has shown you other documents which you don't seem to take issue. The issue is not so much about the content, but what is he professing himself to be? He's acting on whose behalf?
Johannes Stephenson was a manager of all the subsidiaries of Samherji in Namibia.
Okay.
And since now, Samherji did also enter into a joint venture with the 3 JVs.
Yes.
If I don't see anything wrong for him to report or to write indicating Altingna fishing,
Okay.
if he's reporting to his bosses in Iceland.
Okay.
May it please you, my lord. Now, in the same vein, since you said you don't see anything wrong, now the issue is the same way you are questioning why invoices were not directed to Acticnam fishing. Why didn't you ask Johannes Stephenson to clarify why, if you look at the 38 and 39 that we dealt with in the applicant's bundle, you said invoices should have been directed to Acticnam. Acticnam should have made payment. You recall that's what you said?
Yes?
Yes. So why didn't you ask clarification from Johannes Stephenson himself to say, but you were representing Acticnam. The agreement between Robber Logistics and Memoria Seafood was signed by somebody acting on behalf of, the other subsidiary of Samherji. Yeah, Memoria Seafood. Again, Johannes Stephenson, he signed on behalf of Memoria Seafood. On the other hand, he's writing, on behalf of Acticnam. Why didn't you ask him to clarify that? The issue of payment, why it shouldn't have been done through Acticnam?
I did not ask him to clarify that because he have already indicated that those invoices that were being issued to Samherji, they were just issued for the Samherji to pay bribes to the accused persons.
Yes, again, according to you, because you chose to believe everything that Johannes Stephenson said. He submitted his affidavit. As long as he said it, it's gospel truth for you. So you don't question anything that he says. That's what it is.
Yeah, I do not question, because what he have alleged, we have investigated it, the allegations he made. Apart from his statement that he gave, we also obtained collaborative evidence. We get bank statements when the Samherji companies and the accounts of the accused persons and their entities. We get email addresses that also collaborate with the same allegation made, which the investigators from the office of the prosecutor in Iceland have provided, or the emails that were retrieved from the services or from the devices of the Samherji people. And all those just collaborate what Johannes Stephenson had said. And we also see how the money was flowing as per his allegations.
We'll get there. In fact, let's get there now.
I'm not now sure if the witness was done to answer. Then he's told we will get there. That is exactly what I rose previously.
I really thought he was done, but let's give him a chance. Mr. Kanyangela? You still wanted to add something, or you were done?
Yeah, what I wanted to add is only to say that when we gather this evidence now, like the bank statement, the devices that we seize from the accused persons,
Yes.
the ACC contracted Deloitte and Touch for that forensic investigation on the evidence collected. And in their report, they have also confirmed as to how this money was being paid by the Samherji and how it was being distributed among the accused persons and the entities. So, to say that we rely only on Johannes Stephenson's statement, that is not the case. We still have evidence pertaining to what he have alleged, apart from his statement.
Let's get there. You mentioned the issue of the Deloitte report.
Yes.
Okay. If you can just turn to Johannes Stephenson's statement, and I'll refer you to the Deloitte report. Page 23 of his statement, which Mr. Ipinge, when he was leading evidence in chief, asked you to read.
23.
Page 25, paragraph 23 of Johannes Stephenson's statement.
In which file is it?
But I don't know, I have a loose copy. I don't know whether it was provided, but it must have been provided because when my learned colleague was leading evidence, you actually read out paragraph 23.
Okay, we can still simplify it. You are referring to Mr. Stephenson's statement.
Indeed, so, my lord.
Okay, and you are saying this paragraph?
Paragraph 23, my lord.
Okay. I
Okay.
got the statement.
You got it?
Yes.
Just go to paragraph 23. You recall that is the one that you read into record. My lord, if I may just read it out.
Yes, I wanted to suggest that.
It says, paragraph 23, in 2016, a new arrangement was introduced where part of the quota usage fee, QF, would be paid directly to companies or some of the key people in Namibia, such as JTH Trading, Erongo Clearing, and possibly others at a later stage. For example, 2/3 of the quota usage fee was paid to Fishco, and 1/3 was paid to the companies of the key people. C2 documents, C2 of the agreements in 2016 with usage amounts of $1,800 and $1,920 per metric ton, respectively. The quota usage fee was $1,800 and $1,920 per ton, but the market price was around $3,000 per ton. The difference paid to companies linked to the key people of Namibia, like JTH Treaty. Did you follow, sir?
Yeah, I'm following.
Okay. So this, what you read out, you believe this to be true? Remember, you read this out in evidence in chief. Mr. Ipinge asked you to read it out, you read it out, and you explained. So my point of departure is, when you read this out, you believed it, and it was the basis of which you conducted investigations further. Is that so?
Yeah, yes, I believe that
Okay, you
when,
go ahead.
when Asia Fishing signed usage agreement with Fishco, by that time, the usage fee was between 1,500 metric ton to 3,000 Namibian dollars per metric ton. That is based on the several agreements that we have seen, or that are on the case file that Samherji entered into with Fishco and its subsidiaries.
The point I'm making is, you see, Stephenson makes some bold statements here that the differences were paid to companies linked to people of Namibia like JTH Trading. He's talking about that it was 1,800 Namibian dollars and 1,920 per metric ton. And the differences were paid to companies like JTH.
That is correct what he's saying.
Okay, and you believe that?
Yes, I believe it because we have statements from those people who were issued with invoices,
Okay.
especially the Northern people in the Loki.
Let's get there. And he's referring to the Deloitte report. Let's just refer to the Deloitte report.
Is he honest, Stephenson?
No, he's referring to also Deloitte, but I'm saying you said you believe it, and in your earlier, statement you said you have other evidence such as from the Deloitte report.
Yes.
So I'm talking about what the allegations he's making here in paragraph 23. Let's look at now the Deloitte report. If I can refer you to page 155 of the audit report. Page 155.
It is in which bundle, if I may ask?
It's one of the bundles that you have.
Because the one I'm having here, the 30th with 250.
But you should have the complete bundle.
I don't know if you are not able to say what page 155.
It's 155, your Lordship.
Yes, it's all about. Then he can comment. We can proceed on that basis.
I'll go to your Lordship.
Yes.
In fact, your Lordship, maybe just taking it a bit back
Okay.
from the audit report, I'll start from page 153.
153. Yes.
I'll be referring to 153, 154, 155. Now, Johannes Stephenson, in his affidavit, he is saying that there was a new agreement introduced where quota usage fee would be paid directly to companies of the key people in Namibia, such as JTH Trading, Irongo Clearing, and others. And 2/3 of the quota usage fee was paid to Fishco, 1/3 was paid to companies of people, like JTH. We've canvassed that. Now let's look at the audit report on page 153. It talks about 2016 season.
Just come to see those pages.
Okay, just pay attention. Let's see if you will be able to follow.
Now, according to, I'm sure Mr. Ipinge is there.
Mr. Ipinge, it will help. If you have the report, it's fine. Then he will put to.
My Lord, perhaps I can
Okay.
see there's that page from the applicant. He can assist while Mr. Ipinge is
Yes.
talking.
Court order. May you assist to get the document? Is there a court order?
153.
Oh, I see.
153. I'm going, then I'll go to 154. Maybe you can also give 154 and 155.
To
Sure you agree those are extracts from the Deloitte audit report that you talked about.
That's correct.
Okay. Now, I'm sure you agree the heading says 2016 season.
Yes.
Yes. Now, Johannes Stephenson is saying that there was an agreement where 2/3 of the quota usage fee was paid to Fishco, 1/3 was paid to companies of the key people, like JTH Trading. That is what he's saying in his affidavit, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Now, let's look at the audit report 153. It summarizes, remember this is the audit report that yourselves as Anti-Corruption Commission instructed Deloitte to produce, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Now let's look at that. You can see here party 1 is Fishco, party 2 is Memoria Seafood Pty Limited, isn't it? Quota is 5,000.
Yes.
The price per metric ton is 1,800.
That's correct.
Yeah. Is there any difference there? Or does it show that 2/3 are paid to Fishco, 1/3 is paid to this entity, as per what Johannes Stephenson is alleging in his affidavit?
Okay, the Deloitte report is already indicating the quotas that was signed up by Memoria Seafood with Fishco, which was 5,000 metric tons, and they were signed with a usage fee of 1,800 Namibian dollars per metric ton.
Yes, but that was not my question. That is exactly what I read out to you. My point is, Johannes Stephenson in paragraph 23 of his affidavit is saying there was some kind of scheme or arrangement whereby 2/3 of the quota usage fee would be paid to Fishco, 1/3 would be paid to entities of key people such as JTH Trading. Now, this is a forensic report by Deloitte that you people as Anti-Corruption Commission tasked to produce. Does this 153 of this audit report show that there was 1/3 or any portion of the quota usage fee that was paid to any other entity apart from Fishco? That is my question, sir.
Yeah, this table is just based on the agreement that was signed. But it did not explain as to how the payment was done, either to Fishco or to the other entities.
Sir, read the line invoiced by. Is there any other entity that has invoiced, according to this page of the audit report, apart from Fishco?
Fishco can invoice, but when the payment was done, we could see that some payments were made to Fishco and other payments were made to other entities.
We are talking
It's just like I have said already with Novanam. With Novanam, there were 2 invoices that were being issued that will be on the same quotas.
Sir,
May I object at this point? Because the question is misleading and unfair to the witness, because what Mr. Stephenson explains at paragraph 23 is that we came to another arrangements to divert monies that were meant for Fishco. And how we did that is, in the usage agreement, whilst it's supposed to be 3,000 per metric ton, we do not put that amount when we purchase these quotas. We put 1,800, which is 1,200 less what the actual value of the quotas is supposed to be. And this was done to ensure that the other 1,200 will not be detected, but it will be paid directly from Samherji to key people such as JTH Trading. And that is why when the audit report then goes to the agreement, they can only find the amount 1,800, while it's supposed to be, in reality, 3,000, as explained by Mr. Johannes Stephenson, who was part and parcel of drawing up these agreements and signing these agreements with Fishco. The audit report obviously deals with what is on the agreement, but what was
But
negotiated.
do you think that you have, to some extent, answered the question, or you sound like you are in the witness stand?
No, no, my lord, because
Okay.
Mr. Siomunji have the explanation in
other
paragraph
words,
23.
In other words, any reason why Mr. Kanyangela is not saying that which you have just said? Because that is the question Mr. Siomunji was asking to Mr.
Then is it not
Kanyangela.
obvious for him, because it's right there? Why should it be clarified again? And if it is being put, why can it not be put as it is in
Well,
paragraph?
it sounded like you are, maybe because of how much you know about the case, I don't know,
Yes.
it's as if you read into paragraph 23
Yes.
other aspects which are not appearing, which I did not hear Mr. Siomunji.
Yes, that is why
Okay.
he must then read the full paragraph 23
Oh, I see.
to put the witness in a perspective.
So
of
all
what
that
was-
you said there is contained in paragraph 23,
Yes.
all the entire affidavit.
It's explained to say, see, in 2016, a new arrangement was introduced where part of the quota usage fee would be paid directly to companies of some key people in Namibia, such as JTH Trading, Erongo Clearing, and possibly others at a later stage.
Yes.
For example, around 2/3 of the quota usage fee was paid to Fishco and 1/3 was paid to companies of the key people. See two of the agreements in 2016 with usage amounts of 1,800 and 1,920 per metric ton, respectively. The quota usage fee price was 1,800 and 1,920 per ton, but the market price was around 3,000 per ton. The difference paid to companies linked to key people, like JTH Trading.
Okay.
So he explains that already.
All right,
To
let
say
me
now
hear-
there's a difference between what is explained by Mr. Stephenson and what is contained in the audit report will be misleading, because there is no difference, because he's just putting a perspective as to what was then found in the agreements by the auditors.
Mr. Siomunji, you,
My Lord, I have to say this on record. I'm greatly disturbed. As the court rightly put it, my learned colleague now is answering on behalf of this witness. I referred to the paragraph which my same learned colleague asked this witness to read into record. And this is what I read as the point of departure, and I referred to the same document or pertaining to the same transaction in the audit report.
okay, I hear your stance. You differ with how he has captured it. In other words, I just want to ascertain whether they said you are not on the same page there. Because if
Definitely.
oh,
Not, my
okay.
Lord.
Then you may proceed with your questions.
Because my learned colleague now, my Lord, he must be stopped. He's attempting to answer on behalf of this witness. And it's what I said earlier, my Lord, that he's attempting to re-examine while I'm cross-examining.
Well, and he knows that he should not do that if that's what he attempts to do. It's just that I understand him to be stating the facts as they seem to obtain from the documents. In other words, he was saying you did not read the entire paragraph.
My Lord,
So I'll not allow him to re-examine the witness and disrupt your cross-examination. It's just that at times a bit difficult to check whether he has went beyond mere trying to place the correct facts before the court or an attempt to re-examine. That's why I'm asking you if you differ with the approach that he's taking, or you were concentrating on something else different, then it's well within your right to continue with cross-examination. I only took it that probably he was trying to be helpful to the court.
my Lord, on the contrary, actually, I was just being disruptive, and I'm saying this with respect.
Okay. Let's see how you take it. Unfortunately, I also don't have the statement by Mr. Stephenson. and neither do I have. It's part of the exhibits that I got, but there are quite a lot of documents. I'm just taking my notes, which will help me. But you may proceed.
My Lord, maybe for the sake of my learned colleague, I'll read the whole paragraph, but it's what I'm referring to, and I'm still referring to from this paragraph of Johannes Stephenson's affidavit. I'm still marrying it with the audit report. And my Lord, I just want to underscore, this is a forensic audit report.
Yes. Well,
accountants and auditors, my Lord, if there's anything untoward, they uncover those things. If there's certain payments that were made to other entities and so on, as alleged here that 2/3 was paid to so-and-so, and the others were paid to, certain key people, it should be reflected in the audit report pertaining to that particular transaction. And that is what I'm demonstrating to this court.
I hear you very well, Mr. Siomunji. And I'm not going to suggest how you may ask questions. I just wanted to hear whether it's not possible for you to put the applicant's position on that issue to Mr. Kanyangela. In other words, where he says, because now how I understand you to deal with this issue is that he's saying that payments were made to entities, which includes the applicant's entities. That is supported by the Deloitte report. And you want to show him almost like a different position.
In this one?
Yes. I don't know whether you could not sum it and say, in fact, you are mistaken. What the Deloitte report says is the following. Then he can comment. But if it's difficult, please, as you please, you may deal with it however you see it.
No, that is exactly how I started, but because that's why I read out first what Stephenson says in paragraph 23, which is the same paragraph that my learned colleague, when he was leading evidence, asked this witness to read into record.
Yes.
And that's what I'm examining now, as per the forensic audit report.
Okay, it's fine. You may proceed, Mr. Siomunji.
Sir, before the disruption, remember it says here that 2/3 of the quota usage fee was paid to Fishco, 1/3 to companies of key people. This is the forensic audit report that you tasked Deloitte to produce. Now, we are looking at this quota of 5,000 metric tons. Does it show anywhere that apart from Fishco, 1/3 was paid to JTH Trading or any other entity of key people as alleged by Johannes Stephenson?
Yeah, well, I don't know why you just opted to bring out the paragraphs, because I know before these tables are compiled, Deloitte had give explanation as to how the money was paid and how the money was distributed before they came to the table.
So we are dealing with the table is a summary of everything, the payment with regard to the quota of 5,000 metric tons at 1,800. Remember, Johannes Stephenson is making allegations that the quota usage fee was reduced to 1,800 and sometimes 1,920 per metric ton, as opposed to the market value, which was around 3,000. And from there, 2/3 was paid of the quota usage fee was paid to Fishco, 1/3 was paid to the entities of key people, such as JTH Trading.
Yes, that's fine. Allow Mr. Kanyangela now to deal with it.
So if you can answer my question.
It's like what I'm saying. If you look to this table, there's a part where it said payment confirmed, and they listed some of the payments there. In the report, they have indicated as to where was this amount being paid.
You agree with me that it's invoiced, the only entity that invoiced for this quantity of quota is Fishco. As per this same table, from the same forensic audit report that you tasked Deloitte to produce, isn't it? Does it show any other entity invoiced or got 1/3 of the quota usage fee apart from Fishco, as per this same table of the same audit report?
Yeah, it did not show, but the explanations show how the payment was done, like I'm saying.
Can you show the explanations pertaining to this transaction?
That's why I say you just extract the tables.
The table is, sir, this table is summarizing everything. If there was any other entity that was paid quota usage fee of this 5,000 metric ton at 1,800 per metric ton, it would have been reflected in this same table, because this is talking about a particular quota, 5,000 metric tons at 1,800 per metric ton. It only shows Fishco.
Yes, it shows Fishco,
Yes.
but
So-
the payment confirmed it indicates otherwise, because they give you also the reference, like they said, on the 19th of 1 to 2016, an amount of 5 million was paid. And here they gave the appendix number, which is not attached to here. From that appendix, you could see as to where was this payment made.
I'm sorry, Mr. Siomuji. I understand your argument very well, and I'm also listening to how he's dealing with it. It seems what he's saying is he agrees with what you are saying, to say the table which you are extracting does not show what Mr. Stephenson is saying, that money were paid to other entities other than those ones which you are indicating. But is that what are you saying in the report, the entire report? Because he's saying you are only zooming on one aspect. Is it to say, according to the applicant, the Deloitte report does not say that payments were made to his entities? Is that his position?
My Lord,
Or am I asking on a different aspect?
No, my lord, the court is correct.
Okay.
The applicant's position is that what Johannes Stephenson is saying here is false.
Okay.
Because he is alleging here that, and that's why, my lord, I'm going transaction by transaction.
Okay.
He's talking about 2016.
Okay.
That in 2016 there was a new arrangement
Yes.
of quota usage fee,
Yes.
whereby 2/3 would go to
Yes.
Fishco,
Yes.
1/3 would go to entities of key people, such as the applicant.
Okay.
And that's why when you look at transaction by as far as the first transaction that was
And
outlined,
that is for when?
this is 2016, 18 January 2016.
So
Usage fee agreement between Memoria Seafood
Yes.
and Fishco. 5,000 metric tons at 1,800.
So is that to say, according to the applicant, the status quo remained the same? It never changed, as Stephenson is saying in his affidavit.
In this, my lord.
Okay.
And we're just, that's what we're demonstrating, my lord.
Okay. That's fine.
May it please the court. So you can see, sir, what I'm putting across to you is this star witness of yours, whom you've never met, but you've decided to take what he has portrayed or what he has outlined in his affidavit, you've decided to take it hook, line, and sinker. It's not correct. As per, if we marry just that aspect with what is indicated in the forensic audit report pertaining to that transaction.
I have indicated that in the Deloitte report, they fully explain as to how this payment was done, and the entities that were paid based on those quotas that were signed up.
Sir,
And I refer you to the appendixes that have been that are indicated here
sir,
in the report, in the table.
it's the same Deloitte audit report. Does it show, I'm talking about this page, we're going stage by stage. If what you are saying is correct, it would have shown here that this entity got this percentage of the quota usage fee as per what Johannes Stephenson is alleging. It does not say so from the same page of the Deloitte audit report pertaining to this transaction. It shows the whole quota usage fee amount there is invoiced by Fishco. Isn't that what it says? 153.
I don't know how I repeatedly say the same thing. That this table is a summary. And they have explained as to how this payment was done and to which entities the payments were made.
My Lord, I see there was only pages given to the IO. Maybe I can give him my full report for him to give his explanation, because he's only given 3 pages of the report. But he's now referring to other appendixes that are not being referred to.
Mr. Kanyagela is the one who is referring him to the appendixes.
Yes.
But it's fine if you want to give him the entire file.
This is the entire. I believe the
Yes,
audit
please
report was also already handed into court.
The what?
The full audit report.
Yes. It was handed in. I recall that. Those ones is Mr. Samherji indicated he will just ask or raise questions pertaining to the 3 documents. You can return the 3 to the applicant. Mr. Samherji, you may proceed.
My Lord, I'm afraid at this rate of the interjections, we will not finish today. Clearly, we will not finish. Because it's disturbance after disturbance.
Yes, I'll urge Mr. Ipinge to only stand when it's very necessary so that we can move. You may proceed.
Since you wanted the audit report, you have it. Can you show pertaining to this 18 January 2016 usage fee agreement between Memaria Seafood and Fishco, the 5,000 metric tons at 1,800, where it shows that 1/3 of that quota usage fee went to JTH or another entity? You have the full report there.
Sorry, before I've already made an objection to this, because Mr. Siomunji's question is based on what Stephenson says in paragraph 23, but he twists it when it comes to the audit report. Mr. Stephenson does not say it was out in the open for everyone to see that the 1/3 will be paid to JTH Trading.
But
he
that
says,
sounds like it's evidence, Mr. Ipinge. Unless you were to re-examine him. I hear you.
Yes.
Because you sound like you are Mr. Kanyangela now in the witness stand. Either making the court understand what is happening. I don't know whether you are saying he's misstating the facts as they appear.
He's misstating the facts to say
yes,
it's supposed to be out in the open for the auditors to see that 1/3 will be given.
See,
because
why I hear you.
Yes.
Why I at the moment don't see anything wrong with what he's saying is he's referring to the audit report and say what the audit report indicates and asks Mr. Kanyangela based on the audit report. And Mr. Kanyangela is even saying that, yes, that table you are showing does not show that. Is it then not for re-examination, either for you then to say, was it in the open or however the case? Because that is his style. He just says, what do you see on that page?
Yes.
Yes, and then he says, no, I see these numbers, and he moves on.
Where I find it misleading, my Lord, I'm sorry,
yes,
is that when he then says that this table shows that Stephenson is lying. That's where I disagree. Because that table does not say Stephenson is lying. That table refers to what was in the usage agreement.
And that's why I'm indicating there that it sounds more like it's Mr. Kanyangela.
Okay.
Yes.
My apologies.
Because it's Mr. Kanyangela who should answer like that to say Mr. Stephenson is not lying for these reasons. Unless really, if you see that Mr. Siomunji puts something to the witness which is not correct, and you are assisting him to state the correct fact. Otherwise, as long as the question is clear and he's referring to the report, he zooms to the page. I hear Mr. Kanyangela is saying, well, the Deloitte report starts off, or the background of which will show how payments were made. Yes, yes, I understand. It's a bit difficult to deal with because you seem to foresee or not to anticipate or understand how the approach Mr. Siomunji is taking, that probably Mr. Kanyangela is not seeing. But remember, it's Mr. Kanyangela who is being questioned. Maybe some of these issues, if you see that he is not very clear in his answers, you can re-examine on, and you'll be able to say, when Mr. Siomunji asked you the following question, this was your response. Then you can re-examine him on those aspects.
As a court, please.
Yes.
Please, the court. Mr. Kanyangela. Again, I'm referring you back to Joanna Stephenson's affidavit. Does it say anywhere that this new arrangement was not out in the open, or it was secret, or it was clandestine, or anything to that effect? Is that what paragraph 23 of Joanna Stephenson's statement says?
It is not saying so.
Exactly. Because what is being paraded by my learned colleague is that it was not out in the open. This is not what the affidavit says. So that is my own learned colleague's own making, because he's attempting to answer this. I asked you that, and that's why I started off with the paragraph from Joanna Stephenson's statement, which you rely on. You said it's the truth. And since he has given you the whole audit report, a forensic audit is something that will uncover hidden things, payments and so on, anything that is hidden, it will uncover it. I'm sure you agree with me. That is why you referred that task to Deloitte, isn't it? Who are auditors? Isn't that so?
That's correct.
Exactly. Now, since you have the whole audit report, can you show, as per what Joanna Stephenson is alleging, according to this first transaction of 18 January 2016, where the 1/3 of this quota usage fee of 5,000 quote per metric ton, 5,000 metric tons at 1,800 per metric ton was paid to the entities of key people such as JTH Trading? Simple. That's a simple question. Either you do that or not, then we move on. Because I'm trying to marry it with the allegation that Joanna Stephenson is making.
Yeah, that I will only be able to explain if I could see the appendix that are being referred to.
You have
The
audit
appendixes
report.
are not part of this.
You have Joanna Stephenson's
Yes.
statement.
But the appendix referred to in the report, they are not on this file.
I put it to you, sir, that you cannot...
Where are the appendixes? Where are they? They are not contained there.
They are not part of this file, but they are part of the...
Were they not part of the Deloitte report that was presented to the court? Were they not part, Mr.
What I have seen...
Ipinge?
is only this
Those
file.
are another 10 arch liver files.
Those are other arch files.
Okay.
This is the summary of the report.
So what? Thank you, Mr. Ipinge. So what you are saying now is you'll only be able to deal with this question if you were to look at that.
Because on the table here, it indicates payment confirmed. But now, when it is confirmed, it did not indicate as to which entity, but instead they give the appendix number that show that transaction.
Is it not that Mr. Siomunji is putting to you that that page simply shows that everything went to Fishco?
Indeed, so my lord.
Yes.
What is indicated there?
You differ with that.
There is nothing that shows that everything was paid to Fishco.
Okay.
Because it's different payments that have been made.
Mr. Kanyangela, with all due respect, this is the same report that you want to selectively, apply to it. The same forensic report that your entity, Anti-Corruption Commission, tasked Deloitte to produce Fishco is indicated there.
Yes.
Yes. There is no other entity indicated there as having received quota usage fee from the 5,000 metric tons at 1,800. That's what I'm pointing out. If there was any other entity, it would have been indicated in this summary. It would have.
Yeah, the invoice was issued by Fishco.
Yes, I put it to you.
But the payments, as I said, under here there are payment confirmed, which are being referred to appendixes.
Why is in the same table is not indicated that 1/3 of this quota usage fee went to this entity?
That's what I'm saying. The appendixes will show as to where was that payment made.
I put it, they will not show that. You are trying to run away from this because you've seen yourself that what Stephenson is alleging in his affidavit does not marry with the transaction on page 153.
But what he's saying is the truth, because when Fishco payments were made to Fishco, other payments were also made to the other entities of the accused persons.
We'll get to we've just started with the payments. You're already running to the other thing. I'm talking about, we're going stage by stage. As per this transaction, I put it to you that what Johannes Stephenson is saying is lies. It has been proven by this. The same Johannes Stephenson that you chose to believe whatever he says, hook, line, and sinker.
It cannot be lies because there were payments made to those entities.
And that is, my lord, that's where I rise when it says it's lies.
Where he says?
That this table in the audit report shows that Johannes Stephenson lies.
Oh,
it's
okay.
wrong to say that. Because Mr. Johannes Stephenson explains that the money that will be reflected in the agreement of 1,800 will be less than the market value, which is supposed to be 3,000. Okay. So what we will pay to Fishco is less than what we were supposed to pay.
Is the intervention?
And that is what is explained in paragraph 23.
Yes, that's fine. I think it's the intervention that you earlier on made, right?
Yes,
Yes.
and it conforms with the audit report to say we're only paying 1,800. The 1,200 we don't put it in the agreement. We'll pay to other entities of the key people. But in actual fact, the value was supposed to be 3,000 metric tons. How is that a lie? So to say that it's a lie is misleading.
But is Mr. Kanyangela saying what you are saying? Because Mr. Kanyangela can answer all these questions. And then, as I'm indicating, you can re-examine, really. Because as much as you sound like you are correcting the facts, in other words, Mr. Munji should not say that Mr. Stephenson is lying.
Right, yes.
Mr. Kanyangela is not saying that, because you are saying Mr. Stephenson is not lying for these reasons. So you are literally answering the question. Yes. That is the difficulty that is here.
I stand guided, my lord.
Yes.
My lord, I'm glad that the court is taking note of the conduct of the respondents, that they'll go at all lengths to even give evidence. Nevertheless, let's move on. I want to refer you to, again, we're still dealing with 2016. Page 155 of the audit report. Sure, you can see there's 4 July 2016, usage fee agreement between Memaria Seafood and Fishco, 12,500 per metric ton at 1,920. Remember, those are the amounts that Stephenson mentioned. He didn't give any other explanation that things were hidden or they were done secretly or covert, or nothing of the sort which is attempted to be explained is given in the affidavit. We read the affidavit of Stephenson verbatim. Now let's look at this page of the report. 155.
Yes, I'm there.
Yes. I'm sure you see this is now 12,500 metric tons at 1,920.
That's correct.
Who was invoiced?
It was Fishcom.
Is there any other entity indicated?
Who was
there?
invoiced is Memoria Seafood.
Party 1 is Fishco, Party 2 is Memoria Seafood, isn't it?
Yes, Fishcom invoiced Memoria
Yes.
Seafood.
Yes. Does it show any other 1/3 of this amount went to any other entity?
Yeah, it doesn't show, but what is showing is that during this 4th July 2016, this agreement that was signed between Memoria Seafood Namibia and Fishco for 12,500 metric ton, it was still beyond the market-related prices, as Johannes Stephenson put it, that by that time, the market-related price was 3,000 Namibian dollars per metric ton. So, which will mean that the difference of this amount of 1,920 that was now signed up with Memoria and Fishco, the difference of 3,000 Namibian dollars that was supposed to be paid fully to Fishco is the one he alleged to have been paid to the entities of the accused person and the applicant.
That's not what you said before. And I put it to you that you are just saying that because that is what my learned colleague, with respect, said. Now you are buying from it. But that's not what I'm putting. But let's look at the page itself. 155. Is that what it says? Does it say there's any difference from the $3,000 dollars per metric ton, which is X amount and was paid to X entity? Is that what it says?
Although it is not saying so, the usage fee that was paid up, it was less than 3,000, as Johannes Stephenson said that was a market-related price.
Sir, the point I'm putting to you, you've actually, it's a good thing you've considered this one. It doesn't say so. This is a forensic audit report. It doesn't say support what Johannes Stephenson is saying. The same Johannes Stephenson, whose words you want to regard as the gospel truth.
The report was based on the agreement signed between Memoria and Fishco.
So do you know what
and the invoices issued.
Do you know what a forensic audit is?
Just allow him to, yes. Sorry.
And what I'm saying is that the report is only indicating the amount that had been signed up with Memoria Seafood and Fishco, and the amount invoiced to Fishco. But like I said, although Fishco was being invoiced, or Memoria was being invoiced by Fishco, there were other payments that were being done to the entities of the accused persons. And that money that was being paid there, it could be the difference of that 3,000 Namibian dollars that was supposed to be signed up or that was supposed to be fully paid to Fiscal.
You see, very interesting. Now you are making suppositions. It could be this, it could be that. You are standing in your capacity, sir, with due respect as the investigation officer in this case. This court wants facts, not speculation. So you cannot support what you are saying with any facts. You are speculating. That's why you are saying it could be this, it could be that. But the point is, you cannot say, according to this forensic audit report, it doesn't show what Johannes Stephenson is saying. But you want so much to align yourself with what Johannes Stephenson is saying. That is why now you are making suppositions. It could be this or it could be that. It shows that whatever he's saying so far about the quota usage fee, the 1/3, is not supported by the report. Page 155. And I'll argue as such.
Would you like to comment, or he can proceed?
Yeah, what I'm commenting is only that what Johannes Stephenson alleged to have happened. That payments were made to Fiscal, and at the same time, payments were also made to the entities of the accused persons.
Yeah.
Which you cannot support from the audit report. But let's move on. Now you recall when applicant testified, he indicated that he received funds from Samherji, as well as various other entities, as per the instruction from the other entities, Mr. James Hatuikulipi. You recall that?
Yes, I recall.
And I'm sure you can recall you saw a supporting affidavit from Mr. James Hatuikulipi, confirming what the applicant indicated. You've seen it, isn't it?
Yes, I saw the statement of James.
Okay. Just want to refer you to, if the court can just bear with me a minute.
Yes.
Just want to refer you to B77, applicant's bundle.
Just repeat that for me.
Document 94, my lord, B77.
Okay. I don't know if I did not number it correctly. I have document 93 as B77 and document 94 as B78. But
B78.
I put one in brackets, I don't know why. But is that the numbering? 77 and 78.
Yes, my lord, but my
Yes.
lord, I'll also refer to this one. That's not the one that I
Okay,
want to refer this honorable court to.
You can just
Court can
double
just
check
go
it.
to- My Lord, my apologies, it's 92, document 92.
Okay.
It was never marked as an exhibit.
Dated 8 August 2017.
No, Your Lordship, it's in the applicant's bundle, 92 in the Koki pen. It was never marked as an exhibit. It's just one page.
Yes. Is it not the one written instructions?
Yes,
underlined?
yes, Your Lordship. Yes.
Yes.
That is the one, Your Lordship.
I see it.
Are you there, Mr. Kanyangela?
Yes, I'm there.
If you look at this document, I'm sure you agree with me that this is a document from Mr. James Hatuikulipi.
That's correct?
Yes. Instruction to MB de Klerk, where instructions are given for certain entities to be paid.
That's correct?
It says, kindly pay the following institutions from the funds deposited by Memaria. You agree with me that's what it reads?
That's correct?
Naftal Shailemo, $940,774.18. JTH Trading, $3 million. Erongo Clearing and Forwarding, $3 million. Moyo Estate CC, $500,000. And number 5 there, which has been added in pen, fees, $25,000. And it further reads, please also deduct the commission as agreed in the amount of 2.5% on the amounts received as well as outstanding fees and disbursements relating to the registration of the various trusts and various companies. Signed by James Hatuikulipi. You see that?
Yes.
Yes. Would you agree with me that this confirms that JTH and Erongo Clearing and Forwarding were paid this $6 million as per the instruction of James Hatuikulipi?
That's correct?
Yes. So it goes to confirm what he himself confirmed in his confirmatory affidavit, that he gave instructions to certain entities for payments to the applicant.
David is that is referring to.
Is it not Mr. Hatuikulipi, James's confirmatory affidavit? Was there no confirmatory affidavit?
Which one?
Oh, okay.
Maybe he can
Mr. Siomunji, kindly assist.
My Lord, as the court rightly said, there is a confirmatory affidavit confirming what the applicant initially said in his first bail application, which was done by affidavit. There is a confirmatory affidavit. I can give it to my learned colleague. He has it himself.
Is it one or there are several, maybe?
My Lord, I believe there's one, but he has it. The issue is he has it, my Lord.
Because I recall this one which was presented to the court,
so,
but I do not know. Because
the other one, my learned colleague is being
Mr.
malicious.
Ipinge, maybe.
The confirmatory affidavit that I have is a one-sentence affidavit.
Is the what?
One sentence.
Or one sentence?
It does not say, I gave instructions for payments to be made to these companies. It's a one-sentence confirmatory affidavit. So when he's making that bold
Is it
statement,
only one? Maybe if it's only one, then he's talking about that one.
Yes. Now, it doesn't say what he's saying.
I believe it was presented in these proceedings, right?
No, it forms part of the record from the magistrate's court.
From the magistrate's court.
Yes.
Okay.
So when it boldly says that, it says, I made instructions to do that. It's wrong. It does
So
not
you are
appear
saying
in that
that he's
affidavit.
reading into the affidavit
Yes.
words that are not contained.
Which are
there.
not there.
Oh, okay. I understand what you are saying. You may proceed, Mr.
My Lord,
Siomunji.
at no point did I say the affidavit reads as follows. I'm saying the affidavit is confirming the averments which the applicant made. It's a confirmatory affidavit. Applicant made his affidavit. He said certain things. Part of the things that he said is that he got payment from entities linked to Mr. James Hatuikulipi, where he got certain amounts of money. And Mr. Hatuikulipi confirmed that.
My Lord, that's where I come in again. In that affidavit of Mr. Tamson in the magistrate's court, he only speaks about 2 million that he had received from DHC. He does not go further to explain any other millions that he received.
Like 6 million, which is...
Yes,
big
like
money.
6 million. he can go through the affidavit of the applicant in the magistrate court. He will find no explanation about 6 million.
All right. Now I'm even losing track of the issue. But the essence of Mr. Siomunji's question was to say, and this is where Mr. Ipinge is correcting. You put to Mr. Kanyangela that this document 92 indicates under item 2 and 3 that the applicant's entities were paid a total amount of 3 million. He said yes, he can see that. And then I understand your follow-up question to say this is being confirmed by Mr. James Hatuikulipi in his confirmatory affidavit.
No, my lord.
Yes.
And again, my learned colleague, sorry to use the word my lord, but he should learn to relax. He's reading meaning into things, misleading himself and disrupting the proceedings, with respect.
Okay.
That is not what I said.
Yeah.
And whatever it is, he should note down his things and do re-examination if he feels that things are not captured correctly.
You may just take that again, Mr. Siomunji, then.
Your Lordship, what I'm saying is, Mr. James Hatuikulipi gave a confirmatory affidavit. It's there. He confirmed certain payments. I'm not saying Mr. James Hatuikulipi gave a confirmatory affidavit with regard to these payments.
Yeah, okay.
I will introduce this document 92 to show that there are instructions that were given by Mr. Hatuikulipi for various entities, including entities of the applicant, to be paid. This is a separate thing.
Yes.
Maybe my learned colleague misunderstood what I said to say that Mr. Hatuikulipi's confirmatory affidavit is confirming these payments on document 92. And that's the danger of not sitting down and digesting what is being said.
I hear you, Mr. Siomunji. It almost sounded like that the issue of the confirmatory affidavit, the way it came in, was almost to say this what appears on document 92 seems to be confirmed by their confirmator. That's how it almost came out. But now that you have clarified it, it's fine. You are saying that there is Mr. James Hatuikulipi's affidavit which confirms certain payments. That's how you are putting it. Okay. Mr. Kanyangela, are you aware of the affidavit that Mr. Siomunji is talking about?
Please, the Lord. My Lord.
Yes.
I'm aware of the supporting affidavit of that James Hatuikulipi gave.
Yes.
But I cannot really now recall as to what was all the content of the affidavit.
Okay.
But I know there was a supporting affidavit he gave.
All right.
My Lord, since we dealt with this document, I believe this one was not marked 92. If it can also be marked for these proceedings.
Now I'm lost on the numbering there.
I am equally lost, Your Lordship.
I'll try to see. I don't know whether under cross-examination, is there any document that was handed in under cross-examination?
Not that I can recall from the last sitting, Your Lordship.
Let's see.
My Lord, if I want to say something on this document.
Yes.
No, he pushing it, but I did not really. As he clearly indicated that this was instruction that was being given by James Hatuikulipi to Mr. de Klerk. This is just another confirmation as to what Johannes Stephenson had said. Because he said there was arrangement made that payment should be made directly to the entities in which the accused persons are having interest. We know MB de Klerk is the owner of, he was a shareholder of de Klerk, Horn and Coutier legal practitioners. And we know there were money that was paid from Fishrot to DHC. And this money that is now alleged to have been paid to GT8 Trading and Elongo Clearing and Forwarding CC. This is part of the money that Maria paid to DHC. And this is the money that Johannes Stephenson alleged to be bribes to the accused persons. So the instructions given to the clerk this money was money that was supposed to pay directly to Fishrot. Because Samherji Group signed up agreements with Fishrot. But instead, the money was paid directly to DHC, which was now instructed to distribute this money. And 3 million went to or 6 million would end up in the entities of the applicant. So it's still bribe money, I believe. It's bribe money that was being paid because after the applicant received this money, he did also distribute it further.
Mr. Kanyangela, I don't want you to speculate. Let's be specific on this money. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
let me just
The money came
roll
from
on
DHC.
this issue. Allow me to, Mr. Ipinge, will you have objections to have this document received and marked?
No money.
I'll verify the last exhibit number and will assign it the correct exhibit number.
Perhaps if we can just, because it still forms a part of B,
Okay,
exhibit B,
all right.
and I see there was B79. I don't know if we went up to B80 because it's in the same bundle,
Yeah,
and then it could just be
Oh,
B80
okay. That's helpful.
in that sense.
That's helpful.
Because
I
document
see
97 is
97
B79.
97 is B79. Does not look like there's another exhibit after that.
Yes, so maybe this can be B80.
108 is marked B1.
We started
Document.
from the back.
We started from the back.
Yes, because the
Okay.
issues of the outstanding.
Okay. Well, in case it will be a wrong numbering, we can always correct it.
As a con-
But we can then assign it as B70,
B80.
B80.
Yes.
Mr. Siomuji,
I'm in the court.
it will be B80. Exhibit B80. You may proceed now.
What is the court? Mr. Kanyangela, you are standing there not to speculate. We want facts. Either you know or you do not know. Did you, these particular funds, as per this letter of 8 August 2017, did you investigate where they came from? Leave aside what Johannes Stephenson, the blanket sweeping statements that he makes. I'm talking about you as the investigation officer. Did you investigate where they came from? And why these entities, these funds paid on the instruction given on 8 August 2017, why Naftali Shailemo was paid 940,000, why JTH and Irongo Clearing were paid 6 million, why Moyo Estates was paid 500,000.
With Mr. Shailemo, he gave a statement regarding that payment, as well as payment made to Moyo Estates. We are also having a statement that is confirming as for what was the payment.
Okay. Now, so that's all you know. You cannot say this is bribe money just because it says it's deposited by Memaria. Did you investigate the source of the money from Memaria, whether it is indeed money that was due to Fishco and was diverted and paid to these other entities? Did you do that?
Although I did not do that, what was there? Fishco entered into agreements with Myanmar.
You didn't investigate this. And again, I'll argue before this court. You are accustomed to making sweeping statements which you cannot back up. Because for you, as long as Johannes Stephenson says, everything that was paid is bribe money. For you, everything, when you see, you don't investigate, you just say, yes, it's bribe money. So bottom line is, you didn't investigate
We have
these
investigated
instructions.
how the money was distributed among the accused persons.
Sir,
We have bank statements that confirming such payments and how the money went out of those accounts.
you just admitted to this court that with regard to the instruction of this B88 August 2017, you did not investigate the source and why these other entities were paid. You did not.
I never said that I did not investigate the source.
Okay, where did you investigate where this money deposited by Maria came from? Did you investigate? As per this instruction, which says kindly pay the institutions from the funds deposited by Maria, did you investigate where this money deposited by Maria came from? Very simple question. So it's either you know or you do not know. It's a very simple question. Either you did or you didn't. Did you investigate the source of this money?
Yeah, what I have investigated is that the money came from Maria's bank account and that Maria had an agreement with Fishrot.
Okay, since you said you investigated,
Yes. Just be patient with him there,
you
Mr.
can continue, sir.
And I said, Maria only signed agreements with Fishrot, which is based on the governmental objective quotas. And what is expected to be paid by Maria? It was money for the quotas. And like Stephenson have said, that there was arrangement that some of the money should be paid directly to the entities of the accused person. And DHC on Marine de Klerk is one of those who is suspected to be involved in this scheme.
Since you said you investigated, when was this money paid by Maria? Of which we are talking about just over 7 million instructions were given for this money to be paid. How much money did Maria pay to DHC and where did that money come from? Answer those questions.
I can only confirm them from the bank statements.
You cannot, because you know why? It's because your testimony is full of speculation. And you have to marry it with what Johannes Stephenson said. Because Johannes Stephenson said money was paid, because from the governmental objective quotas or Fishco, and then it was diverted further. That is what you base it on. You didn't investigate anything.
I'm just here to say, the witness says, I can confirm that from the bank statement. He's told you cannot. The bank statements are there, the witness says you can. Now to say that he cannot, that is misleading because the bank statements are there.
Okay, I thought he was maybe touching on a different aspect, but it's fine. Mr. Siomunji, Mr. Kanyangela said he can confirm.
Sorry,
from the
it seems all the habits die hard. If my learned colleague wants to re-examine that, let him re-examine it.
No, is he not saying that after Mr. Kanyangela is saying he can confirm from the bank statements, you are still putting to him that he's not able to do so?
My Lord, to be fair with him, Mr.
Yes.
Kanyangela, during the lunch break, please go to those bank statements. I want this payment where instructions were given of 8 August 2017. Please provide those bank statements and come and show how much was paid to Maria, where it came from, and come and inform this court at 2:15. Since my learned colleague is saying the bank statements are there, you are saying, please provide those bank statements at 2:15 before we proceed to another aspect.
I don't know You say how much was paid by Mirmaria or to Mirmaria?
You said,
By who?
remember Mr. Kanyangela, we're here for serious business. These are not trick questions. I presented this document to you. You said you investigated these payments, which amount to just over 7 million, of which instructions were given on 8 August 2017. Where it came from, how much was paid, and so on. And now you are saying you can provide that information from the bank statements. And it's almost 1 o'clock, so to be fair to you, I'm saying, before we leave this aspect, go and get those bank statements pertaining to this transaction of 8 August 2017, of which just over 7 million was given instructions. Provide those things at 2:15. My Lord, I believe that is fair, and if we can, it's an opportune time for us to break off for lunch.
What is the time now?
It's 1 o'clock, my Lord.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's fine.
Can
You
you
want-
just indicate again? Which bank statement do you want?
You are the same one who referred to bank statement. You should know what you're talking about. Isn't it you who said you can confirm where this is coming from bank statements? Isn't it you who said that?
Do you want the whole bank statement or do you want a portion of the bank statement?
You see,
To indicate the payment.
it's very disturbing that you yourself who alluded to bank statements, you do not even know now what you want to refer to. You are the one who indicated it's there, you can confirm from bank statements. So you as the investigation officer, you should know what you are talking about. I cannot talk for you. I did not ask you about bank statements. I did not allude to bank statements. You did. So whichever bank statements that you alluded to, please provide the proof to show that you did investigate this payment of over 7 million, where it came from, that was deposited by Memaria, and how much it was. You provide that. You are the one who alluded to it.
Let me just establish one aspect. Did you indicate that you investigated this issue?
We investigated the payment made by Mirmari and not the payment made to Mirmari.
Well, this is made by Memaria. So I
Yes.
just thought that I did not hear you clearly saying that you investigated, but at least you have confirmed that part. You investigated, and all that Mr. Siomundi is asking is to say, are you able to trace the source of this payment on document 92?
Understood.
Okay. We'll adjourn for lunch and resume at 2:15. Court adjourns.